Okay, while Gordon Hayward may be known for his quaff, his president is not. What Danny Ainge is known for, however, is his ability to pull front office strings to turn good Celtics teams into great ones. Not resting on the laurels of a 53-win team, Ainge aggressively navigated this offseason to trade a #1 pick, pursue the top available free agent, and then nab an unhappy all-star in his prime. Our Jeff Goodman sat down with Ainge to talk culture and patience, which, as you know, Celtics fans have in droves. All right, let's switch gears to the NFL. And next week, the owners are scheduled to have their fall meetings. On the agenda, national anthem protests. In a letter to all 32 teams that was obtained by our Adam Schefter, Commissioner Roger Goodell wrote that the league has developed a plan to move past the ongoing anthem debate that will be reviewed at the meeting. In his letter, Goodell said, "Like many of our fans, we believe that everyone should stand for the national anthem." President Trump tweeting this morning. If we bring in Josina Anderson now to give us a little perspective. And before I get to Josina, I do think it bears mentioning that, again, Roger Goodell's letter to the owners did not demand that players stand during the anthem, simply saying that the owners need to meet and discuss their future plans to the anthem. And again, I think it bears mentioning they are not protesting the anthem. They are using that as an opportunity to protest racial injustice and police brutality. All right, JoJo. Now that all of this has happened, now that President Trump has tweeted, what are you the players as to his response of Roger Goodell?
Well, I talked to a couple of Cowboys.
From Todd Archer as well, who said that Jerry Jones is saying he's not saying they shouldn't do anything. He is saying he's advocating for them, if they want to demonstrate, to do it before the anthem, some kind of silent protest before the anthem, but not necessarily. Are you gauging that the players are getting mixed messages here, Josina?
Well, let's clarify. Because
sure, absolutely. Because again, people can quibble as to what those mixed messages are. The message coming from Jerry Jones was very clear. If you demonstrate during the national anthem, you will not play. It's about as clear as it can get. Josina Anderson bringing us perspective from the players as, again, we continue to talk about something that's been ongoing now, Lisa, for the better part of 2 seasons.
No doubt.
Coming up, can the Yankees win a 3rd straight to knock off the once invincible Indians? We're going to talk Bombers' confidence level when we go inside the clubhouse. That's next on Sports Center AM. Stick around. Coach, we love you. You're a liar.
I appreciate you guys.
You're a liar.
Why? What you got, me? What?
You do dance.
Yeah, but that wasn't a wedding.
Walk us through.
That was not a wedding. That wasn't a wedding. Where was that at?
I asked you if you danced
At a wedding. That's not a wedding.
What is it?
That's a bar mitzvah.
It's a thing. Show us.
It's the difference.
What's this move called?
Wedding means you do this.
Yeah. And then what?
Yeah. Bar mitzvah is, hey man, you just let it loose.
And what was your dance group's name again?
The Fabulous
Caprice. You see that back foot right there?
Fabulous Caprice.
Now that is on beat. That is on beat. You see,
What is that?
Give it to me again.
That's a little electric stuff. That's what that is. Come on, you don't know how to do that. You don't know how to do that.
Give it again. Give it again.
Watch it.
Give it again.
Come on.
Go.
I'm going to just spin right out there.
I saw more of that last night.
I mean, what a rally. The Yankees saying this one is for Joe as they fought off elimination for the 4th time in 9 days. To Cleveland we go. And the home. It's hard to even say that because coming into this series, the Indians were enormous favorites. How did the Yankees get it done?
Well, they got it done because they hit a bunch of homers. But I think he's going to find another adjustment somewhere because he's a very smart hitter. Very smart for being so young.
All right.
Been studying.
Yeah, and then that's what you've got to do, right? Let's talk about, we said that you heard him say there, Strasburg, he didn't feel pressure from us, from the outside world, from the media. You think he felt pressure from inside that clubhouse to be on that mound last night?
Yeah, I think he felt a lot of pressure.
Now.
Right, and that's good. They need to move on from this.
Move on. So
We're
here
on
we go.
from Moldgate.
And we're moving on too. We'll see you at the top of the next hour.
Center, what does Herm Edwards need to see to ink Carson Wentz in the top tier? And has Cam Newton rejoined his place there? We're going to break down Thursday night matchups. Plus, Mel Kiper's big board is out. Who's up, who's out? And is he really ready to show some love to the Cardinal running back? We'll find out. And we know that watching Aaron Rodgers' 4th quarter heroics as a fan is incredible. What's it like from the sidelines? Packers D tackle and friend of the show, Mike Daniels, joins us live. Sports Center AM rolls on. He's just playing who is on the schedule, and I get that. But listen, because of the shoulder surgery, because of the terrible year that they had last year, everyone's really quick to say, we've seen Cam Newton look pretty good through 5 games. Is he back to his MVP form from a couple of seasons ago? What are your thoughts?
Last 2 weeks he is.
MVP season, though, and I'm not saying he didn't have a fantastic year, and they only lost 1 game. They were 15-1, and I get that. But he had a defense at the time that forced 39 turnovers, meaning he was dealing with a short field. quite a bit.
Right.
So was that maybe an anomaly? Like, are we looking for Cam to be someone a couple of years ago that was more of an anomaly than who he actually is?
Well, I think teams that are 4-1, one of the best records in football, if they would win this game, all of a sudden he moves up another notch. I mean, this is part of the process of being a young quarterback.
And then, of course, he undoubtedly takes a couple steps whenever he has a mistake. That's how it works as well.
That's how it works.
We're very sometimey, we are, but at least
The Eagles are flying right now. They're flying right now, right?
At the very least, we're talking about two 4-1 teams tonight on Thursday Night Football. Coach is sticking around all day with us. Still ahead on SportsCenter, Jerry Jones says demanding his players to stand is to their benefit. Adam Schefter takes us inside the Cowboys meeting between players and ownership. That's next.
Even though John Lester is a tremendous big game pitcher, not available, of course, Hendricks should be pitching this game because he's been their best pitcher lately.
He certainly has. You mentioned John Lester. Joe Madden did say similar to what they did last night with John Lester. Jose Quintana is going to be available in relief for Hendricks should it be a short night for him. Let's talk about the Nationals, though, because despite the fact that they won that game 5-0, they only mustered, 2 more hits than the Cubs did. A grand slam certainly helped that cause. What do you need to see out of their offense today in this decisive game 5?
Well, they got to get Trey Turner low-scoring game again tonight.
And my guess is, based on what we've seen, the 8th inning will factor, as you just said, because all 12 of the Nationals' runs, 9 of them have come in the 8th, and they've all come what? Courtesy of the long ball. Which means get all your work done out of the way early and then post up for at least the end of this game. All right, Tim Kirchin breaking down what we're going to see tonight in our nation's capital. Ever to start with 3 consecutive victories, and they look to make it 4 straight tomorrow at home against the Red Wings. Hour 5 for Barry Melrose and the Melrose Marathon. You're doing 17 hours
He's
today,
still standing. Still standing, everybody.
Still great.
Good.
Feel great.
Still fresh as the
No
day
weakness.
is long.
Yep.
But let's talk about those Golden Knights, because obviously there's been a lot of attention based on what happened in Vegas. But how surprised are you that they've made history for an expansion team?
I think I'm without a doubt they were given a chance to be good with the new rules and expansion, and they did a really good job picking players.
As we continue on with our Melrose Marathon, and it's a really cool partnership with ESPN, and now Ainge goes out. Phil Steele is in.
Quick switch.
Phil,
right?
Yeah, right? It's Thursday, and that means accountability time. Let's check out how you did. Let's recap last week to get into this in the Thursday night. But let's give you a chance to redeem yourself. Who's your underdog this week?
You know, I'm going to go with the team that's won a couple times for me as an underdog team.
Oh, somewhere Matt Berry's going, Sparky! Yeah. You know, quietly, Wisconsin in the Big Ten, up to number 7 in the country, and they're favored by, 17.5 over Purdue. How do you see this one playing out?
I like Wisconsin minus the...
Really good about.
Yeah, my marquee matchup, there's no rank versus rank, so we're 5-0 on the year. Here's the one I really like, and it's off the radar. UNLV Air Force.
Looked at his check again. He's like, oh, that's right. I do make $175 million. I guess I might. Coast to Coast on ESPN next.